Okay, sorry, I think my mic was properly turned on. I'm going to say hi again. Welcome back to Spirit Lounge. Apologies for the mic there. A bit of a gap between the last video and this because I've been busy, but I'm going to have a flurry of them today and a few over the weekend, so look forward to that. And let's crack on. So this one is going to be the next chapter called Thunder, Perfect Mind. So I'll put the presentation on the screen. Okay, so this is called Perfect Mind. It's a little bit of an anomaly, this one, to the rest of the Gnostic texts. It's a female speaking to an unknown audience. It sounds like female because she refers to herself as one, or the person refers to themselves as one. And the passage, it asks the listener to pay attention to words. So it's a reflection of what we call Jewish wisdom, if you like, with a mixture of Gnostic, Isiac, and other philosophies thrown in there. She speaks in both terms of a divine term, but also in calls herself barbarian and not a barbarian. So she's kind of speaking in both, referring to herself as divine or undivine, if you like, or what the Greeks of the time would maybe categorise her as a barbarian. That necessarily wouldn't mean that she was a barbarian in person, but maybe because she didn't align to the beliefs of the time or what the Greeks believed was true. Various self-predictions and statements that she makes, and the whole chapter is it's almost like a verse. It's a continual verse. There are no sub-chapters. There's no subsections in it or passages. It's one huge passage, sectioned off like a poem almost, but it isn't a poem. So let's jump straight into that. Okay, the first passage, if you like, in there was, "I was sent from the power to those who contemplate me." The next one says, "Look at me, you who hear. Take me to yourselves. Do not banish me from your eyes. Let your voice be hateful. Do not let your voice be hateful towards me. Be alert. Do not be ignorant of me." Next one. So I think this is also speaking to the person as the being itself, the physical being itself, but I believe this statement is also referring to what her words are representing. So when it says, "Do not banish your eyes from me," or let your voice be hateful of me, it is not only the physical being that is expressing the words, "Do not be ignorant of me," but it's also the statement of, "Do not be ignorant of what what it is she is describing to you in this chapter." So remember, always recall these in a spiritual sense, not just relate to the physical meaning or in the physical world. So it has two different meanings, these. "For I am the first and the last." So the first and the last obviously is not the physical being, of course. This is the first and the last being, the spirit. The spirit will always be the first, will always be the last, because everything else is irrelevant. "I am the honoured and the scorned, a whore and the holy, a wife and the virgin, mother and the daughter, limbs of my mother, a barren woman, had many weddings but taken no husband, the solace of my own birth pains, bride and groom, and my husband produced me, he is my offspring. I am the servant of him who fashioned me, ruler of my offspring, my strength is from him, staff of his power, whatever he wishes happens to me." Don't necessarily agree with that, by the way. "I am silence that is incomprehensible, and insight." The insight basically means the unknown or the divine eon. "I am the voice whose sounds are many and appearances are many." So this is effectively saying that she is all expression, and what is the all is all expression in physical as well. "A servant of him who fashioned me, whatever he wishes happens to me." Not necessarily the case. We have intention for life. What happens to us is our free will, and if we are embarking on decisions of our free will, therefore it is also the will of the Father and the Divine. So that statement is true, but also not true if we give it a source of blaming what happens to us. Whatever He wishes happens to me is true because it is our own free will and our decisions, and we own and are the result of the outcomes of our decisions. We are not just helpless beings waiting for some omniscient being just to impart on us whatever it wishes. That's not the case. Okay, so the next one was, you who hate me, why do you love me? It's good, I like that one. There are many out there who dismiss the divine, yet call upon it when it suits them, when they need something. They do a ritual or a loving act here or abroad or to many because it feels that it'll bring them something. But beyond that, they don't do anything. And then they would scorn those who would speak of the divine in a more faithful way, religious way, wherever it might be. So that is true. There's a love and hate in some people. And those who hate, who love me. There you go. That explains what I was just saying. You who deny me, confess me. There's another truth. Tell the truth about me. Tell lies about me, who know me and be ignorant of me. The next is, I am knowledge and ignorance, shy and bold, shameless, ashamed, tough, and I am terror, war and peace. Again, this is expressing the divine within us as being all possibility. We can be all of these things. It's a choice. We can be war or we can be peace. We can be terror or we can be harmony. We can be tough or we can be soft. We can be shameless or we can be bold. We can be ignorant or shy, and so on and so forth. It goes. So it's really up to us what it is we become. This is just saying that all possibility is, all that is the divine. It's our free will. We determine ourselves what it is we become. It says, be attentive to me, disgraced and great. Be attentive to my poverty and my wealth. That is an interesting statement for me, my poverty and wealth. What is that? It's not physical poverty and wealth. Wealth is the knowing, the poverty is the dismissal. Wealth is the revelation within the self. Poverty is the destruction and the turning away of what the true self is. It's spiritual poverty and divine wealth. That is what I believe that true meaning is. Do not be arrogant toward me when I am thrown down to the ground. This is not the physical person. You can take them in both ways. So this entire chapter, you can take both physical and you can take both spiritual. Both have meaning. Both are knows no wrong in any of those. I look at everything as spiritual meaning because this physical is not what any of these texts are trying to tell us. And so this would be thrown down on the ground. When we say throw me down on the ground, that means we throw what is greater than us down on the ground and we trample on it. If you see me on the dung heap, don't go and leave me thrown there. You will find me in the kingdoms. Don't throw me down violently with those in need. I am compassionate and I am cruel. Take care not to date my obedience, but love my self-control. Okay, for why do you despise my terror? I am present in all fears, strength in agitation, a weak woman, well in a pleasant locale. I am foolish, I am wise. Why have you hated me in your counsels? I shall appear and speak. Why have you hated me, you Greeks? And this is a direct physical reference. Because I am a barbarian among barbarians. So this is just referring to those who believe in opposing thought. In my perception of this statement to what then would have been Greek thought or traditional philosophy or Isiac beliefs and anything other that goes contrary to Gnostic or in this case Jewish wisdom. I think this chapter. Okay. For I am the wisdom of the Greeks, knowledge of the barbarians. I am the one whose image is great in Egypt. There's hates and loved. I am hated and loved everywhere. The one called life, you have called death. One called law, you have one you pursued, one you seized. You have gathered me together, before whom you have been ashamed. I am she whose festivals are many. So we have many rituals, of course. I am godless. That is true. So this is saying godless. What is that? False gods, idols, deities. They're not false. They are real now because we give energy to them, and then they manifest in their reality within energy and frequency. But this is saying that it's not the worship of false deities. I have many gods. I am uneducated, and people learn from me. I am one from whom you have hidden. Okay, and continuing. Draw near to me. Establish the great among the insignificant first creatures. First creatures, I believe, is talking about the archons, or talking about those who were not given the breath of life. I guess. Draw near to childhood. Not despise it because it is small and insignificant. This is talking about the expression of the Spirit. Do not make what is great turn away. What is small is what is great. So this is talking about us turning away from the divine. The divine won't turn away from us, but we are turning away from the divine in actual fact. And those who dismiss the existence of anything greater than human intellectual arrogance and ego, intellectual pedestals, and the admiration of what we see in the mirror, regard it as small, but that what is great. Why do you curse me and honor me? Do not separate me from the first ones being those which are elevated, ascended, whom you have known, nor turn away. I know the first ones. The Spirit knows the first ones because it is one of the first ones. You are there to become that Spirit within, to become one of the first ones. Hence, the second coming is exactly that. It was actually also the first coming. I am perfect mind and rest. I am the knowledge of my search, discovery of those who seek me, the powers of powers, knowledge of angelic ambassadors, gods among gods. Okay, we continue. I am honored and praised. I am peace, and war has come because of me. It's true. We have fought many wars over faith and religion, over the destruction or killing of those who do not believe in the gods that someone else may believe, or that their religion or ritual or belief system enforces. This is the sin of man, actually, and nothing from any divine force. I am alien. Alien means a stranger. Alien means I am the Spirit. The Spirit is alien. It's a stranger to us until we recognize its existence, so therefore it is alien. As it emerges, it becomes alien. And as it emerges into yourself and you express it out in the world, others will see that you as alien, you are strange to them, strange to the masses. Because as your spirit emerges, you will also transform. You will also change. And so the alien is not only a stranger to the self when one doesn't recognize it, but when one allows the spirit to come forward, you also then become different. You also then become alien to those who are around you, because you will change. Everything about you will manifestly change. Truth will be implicitly seen. You will not have to seek it. It will change you fundamentally from every sinew of physical, mental, spiritual, and energetic essence. So remember, alien is the spirit, but also you, as you change, you will change in front of others. And that's why when you move into any spiritual paradigm, any spiritual practice whatsoever, if you keep that going, you will drift away from those who are around you today. You will drift towards others new that will come into your life for different reasons. People will change, friends will change, surroundings will change. What you draw towards you will change because you will want that. You will move away from those who are stagnant. You will become alien to them. And that is not a bad thing. You should embrace that, but not push others away. Others will naturally drift away, actually. I am alien and citizen. On the day I am near you, you are far from me. So that is, I believe, not on the day of birth, but is on a given day. If we don't recognize the Spirit, is always far from us. I am restraint, unity, and dissolution. I am descent, and people ascend to me. Judgment and pardon, and the root of sin comes from me, which is true. The root of sin comes, well, sin is just misplaced force, or that which is not based in love. That comes from us, and therefore the root, we are the root, so therefore it's free will. We express actions, words, thoughts, and intentions from that. I am desire outwardly, speaking that cannot be repressed or actually understood, and those are the divine words that cannot be repressed. Plentiful are my words. Okay, I am the woman crying out, cast upon the face of the earth. I prepared bread. That's an interesting statement. It's not physical bread, it's bread for the soul. It means words to allow you to feed on the energy of the divine from within yourself. I am the knowledge of my name. I am the one called justice, but violence is my name. Violence isn't physical violence in this. I believe what this means, it's disruptive force. So becoming that which you are seeking to become, if you're watching this, and you're watching other videos, and on a spiritual journey of your own, whatever you want to call that, any books you read, the more you do that, as the alien comment suggests, it's a disruptive force. So knowledge is what will emit from you implicitly. You won't have to seek justice. You won't have to seek truth. You will not be able to avoid to see it or recognize it, because it'll be implicitly visible to you, and you'll wonder why others cannot see it. It's knowledge. You'll be called justice because that's what you will always seek, and you will not be able to tolerate injustice. But the violence is the disruption that is in my name. The violence is the disruptive nature of becoming something very different. You honor me, you are who are overcome. Judge before you are judged. For me, that means you judge yourself. It's in life, it's between life, and it's every form of existence. The judgment is your own. And your cycling and our persistent existence and experiences in this universe is a result of the fact that we haven't expanded beyond it. And until we expand beyond humanness, we won't leave the humanness cycle. And until we expand the universal dualities, we won't expand, we won't express beyond that. So this is the judgment of our own. So this is asking us to look at ourselves before we judge ourselves to return, in other words, which is an energetic and frequency decision, not a physical one. Okay, you are judge and partiality. Again, that's what we were discussing. Who will pardon you? It will be yourself. Who will detain you? That will also be yourself. What is within you is outside you. This is what we say. One who fashions you outside has formed you within. Precisely. What you see outside you, you see within you. It is visible and it is your garment. That same narrative and expression is used in all of the other preceding chapters. The garment is the invisible visible. It's the invisible spirit that becomes visible to you from the inner eye, and that is, you're encouraged to make that your external garment. In other words, when you make the spirit your external garment, you start to become the spirit. That is what the second coming is becoming that which we seek up above outside as a savior. The savior is actually within. So it's asking you to become the garment, to wear the coat of your own soul, in other words, because it's waiting for you to wear it. And it's a brave decision, and it's a brave journey to take. But this is what it's asking you to do, and this is what I advise all the way through, and the purpose of this channel alone. Okay, so and this is the last part of it. I am hearing adequate. I am hearing adequate for everything. I am hearing adequately for everything. Speaking that cannot be repressed. Name of the voice of the name. Indication of division. As the Lord, the great power, one who stands, who created me, I shall utter his name. Look at the words of this one. Texts have been written. You also, you angels. So this is talking about you, not external angelic frequencies or beings. It's talking about you angels. You have been sent. Spirits who have risen from the dead. So again, remember, the dead is not zombies coming out of the ground. This is the spirit. When the spirit rises from within you, then it is called rising from the dead. The dead in the spiritual text from all the Gnostics texts is referring to someone who has suppressed the spirit so deeply within them that it is barely a glimmer of a light within their being. That is referred to as someone who is dead. Dead of soul, dead of love, dead of empathy. And you can always see that in the face, and you'll always see it in the eyes. So this is when the spirit rises, you return from the dead. I alone exist, no one to judge me. There are many sorts of seductive sins, deeds without restraint, fleeting pleasures that people embrace. Yes, we all know people like that. Until they become sober, what does that mean? And rise up to their place of rest. Sober means the same thing as being the spirit rising, and you rising from the dead is the same as becoming sober. It's not becoming sober after drinking. It's becoming sober from loss and ignorance and detachment. And you rise up to the place of rest. A place of rest just simply means that you have discovered the grace of the divine, which gives you contentment, peace, harmony, a tranquil river, a tranquil lake, a tranquil pond of life in which you do not throw stones inside. And that is then the discovery of your own intention and path in life, which is then just placed before you, and is one of ease. Actually, when you're on your true intention, your life becomes very easy, because the divine lays out that path for you, and you simply need to walk it, and you need to do nothing else. Everything else that is you need, and where you need to be, the people you need to meet, the places you need to go, everything you need to experience, the signs, syncrasies, numbers, symbol, and events will be placed out before you. If you discover your true intention for being here, because everyone has a reason for being here. It's not just physical ones. There are spiritual reasons why you are here, because when you leave here, the only thing you'll take away with you is your spiritual expansion. Nothing else. So that is what the purpose people seek, is your intention, actually. Why did you choose to be here? There's a reason. Or in other words, we can flip it on its head and say, what is it that we have not evolved? Or what is it, not that you have to learn, what is it that we haven't evolved sufficiently that keeps us here? That is the question. Because that's the intention, is to evolve past those things that we still hold, and that hold us within the space of physicality, if you were. The world, and they will find me there, and they will live and not die again. And that is obviously the return to grace. So that is the final chapter. I just want to leave one thing. There's a thing called moksha in Hinduism, and there are other expressions of the same. Moksha means the release from the cycle of rebirth. and it's regarded as the objective of all things. And that's what this chapter and all the other chapters I've been referring to is the release, is the becoming sober, it's to wear the garment, is as in this thing, it's to rise up to their place of rest. That is also referring to moksha. It's asking us to release ourselves from the cycle of rebirth. That is for us to do. And this is the main message for pretty much everything that you read. You can read 1,000-page text and it will always end up with this single message, which is our job and our challenge individually. So the second coming, again, this is you, this is the garment wearing, this is the rising up to rest, this is the internal revelation. There is no external force saving us. There are always divine forces assisting us individually, and then obviously collectively, as they assist individually, and as a collection we are all one. This does occur, but they're not here to save us and take us into some nirvana that we haven't created ourselves. We have to do that ourselves by becoming the things that these texts are telling us, is to wear that garment, to become sober, to walk that path and journey, to understand our intentions, to understand what we need to achieve and how we need to achieve moksha for in our own life experiences. And of course, Mahanji says the same thing, is true spirituality transformative, true spirituality that which transforms you. We follow rituals, we follow gurus, we follow various activities, but unless transformations happens in life, it is just an activity. It's again repeating the same thing. We shouldn't get dismissive just because a different culture says something. They all are saying the same thing. And this is saying the same thing, become the thing that we seek externally, which is the same statements we've heard in the text today and the previous ones. So again, thank you for listening to this. And again, if there are anyone who wishes to have any spiritual coaching of any kind, I'm happy to assist in any way if you feel it will help you, and you contact me in any of these forms, either through this email address, thespiritlounge333@gmail.com, or just through the Facebook Messenger, through the channel page on there. And I just want to say again, so I put my mugshot back on here, and say thank you again for listening to this. I truly appreciate all the time that you guys take to listen. Hopefully do some more videos, a couple of them this week and this weekend at least. So thanks again. Take care of yourselves and God bless. Thank you.